Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Here we are working in the back of the Jeep and I want to show you a new item that I just got. And let me talk about why I got this first. Recently had a trip to Moab, Utah. We were all doing long trails, Elephant Hill, a couple good trails, and we were eating lunch in the back. I've got my cooler, but I found that I had to basically move all my tools around. That way I could set up food, set up my kitchen area. And everyone else that was wheeling with, they all had little tailgate tables. So I decided that would be my next investment for my Jeep. Here's an example of not having a tailgate table. Let's see what we got. This is from Superi, however you pronounce that. Put it up here. Instructions, packaged actually really nicely. Template, little Jeep duck, I don't do that. Drill bit, and a couple of tools. We need to take off this back area. I don't really, I actually don't like this because every time I have the Jeep full of stuff, this stuff always gets in the way or it smashes my tools that are in the back here. What I wanted to check first, I read some reviews online and they said that this actual template isn't the most accurate, but I just checked it on the back side of these holes and it looks 100% true. So we will use a template, drill the holes in the back of the tailgate, mount this guy up. Good time to clean up the back door. Alright, so the instructions are pretty straightforward. I'm going to be using these two top holes to bring it up to the top. Some of the instructions say go all the way to the right. I'm going to have it over just a little bit. So then we can grab our tape. Make sure you're pulling it pretty tight. And stick the tape on the paper and pull it a little bit. Stick the tape on here and then use the tape to pull the paper even more. So now let's put it up here and see if it all lines up. Alright, let's see if they line up. And I would recommend doing this before you drill any holes. Yeah, centered there, centered there. All the holes do line up. Perfect. And then you take your center punch. Do it for all 4 holes. First do a pilot hole, smaller drill bit than what comes with it. So this one's got like a double layer here. So just be careful so you don't break your bit. And then we're going to test it one more time to make sure everything lines up. Alright. Good. Now you can take the provided bit. I would start with the hole that gave you the most trouble, that way the bit's the sharpest. Bigger bits drill slower and more pressure. If you're having trouble with this tailgate, start the drill before you really push it all the way in there. All the holes are drilled. Take your hammer and lightly tap in these rivets. My hammer is currently being blocked by the Jeep. It should fit a little bit tighter. That drill hole got wallowed out a little bit. Alright, now we need to use our little made up rivet tool. Just have a bolt going through the rivet. A nut in between it and a wrench here that I can grab it. And then take your impact gun and hope it's the hole's not too big. Got it flattened out a little more so that it'll still work. Let's try a different rivet tool. Looks like it pulled the teeth right out, or the threads right out of it. Yeah, it looks like we lost all of our threads. So let's drill this rivet out and put a different one in there. Alright, mistakes were made, but lessons were learned. Make sure you've got an actual rivet tool. Or if you're making something of your own, make sure that it's the exact size. The hole for the rivet tool is the exact size of the bolt. The bolt that you're using to pull. For instance, this piece is the exact size. That will help it from not warping. But because I decided to mess up, I ended up just doing one of these tap bits. Made the holes big enough, and I'm just going to do bolts right into it. It'll still work just fine, but yeah, just be extra careful doing the rivet tool. Maybe look up a little YouTube video on the rivet tool itself. So let's attach the table to the door now. Alright, let's go through and tighten all these bolts up. Overall, this install was fairly easy. It is a high quality table. Seems like high quality parts. I mean, it's a 25-pound battery pack here, and it holds it like nothing. Couple suggestions that I have though. Be extra careful when using the rivets. Don't use a drill to tighten the rivets. That was probably my #1 mistake. And overall, I think that was my only real mistake. It's not using a ratchet or wrench to tighten these rivets. And then also not having a proper rivet tool. But you can make something work, but don't use a drill. After your actual installation, go through, tighten all the bolts. At the end here, I leave these ones loose. I did actually change these bolts to a little bit longer. That way you can get more threads on the nylon locking part. But you want that to spin. I tightened these ones up in the right angle. And I also changed these bolts here to make them a little bit longer. That way there's no chance of those bolts coming undone. One of my favorite parts about this table, double layer. And then I actually didn't have to get rid of my bags in the back. I was able to keep this one here. What's cool is when I fold it down, the way I have it strapped is it stays level. So I can still access it nice and easily even if the table's down. Not very loud, not making a lot of banging noises. They do come with 2 per table of these little locks. I only use one on each table. That way I can open this table up easily with one hand on a lock, one hand pulling it down. Good amount of clearance when closing the door. Besides my bag there. These do hold a lot of weight. Take the whole Jeep with the table. Probably wouldn't try it with the top one. It's a little bit thinner, or it's the same thickness, but it doesn't have this 90-degree brace on there, just to save for some room. I did drill a little hole and put these little rubber stoppers because I was not able to use the factory bolts and rivets because I messed up doing these rivets. So I used one of these self-tapper drill bits to tap in 3 of the holes. In the other hole I was able to get 1 good rivet. Overall, I'm very excited to use it. I really don't have any complaints. I pretty much assume that each tailgate table has their own flaws, but I was easily able to make this one work. I would say it's high quality table. It's got all these little nylon bushings, nylon washers in there. We will see how it actually is when I'm out wheeling. If it does rattle, then I'll add some type of pinching mechanism to hold everything. Maybe like a little wing nut or something, but I got a feeling it won't rattle. I'm excited to actually make some food on this table. I think overall I am pleased with the product. Installation was not hard whatsoever. Definitely would say I highly recommend this one, mostly because of these double tables. I haven't actually owned any other ones, so I can't compare it, but I do know a couple friends who installed other ones and had the same issues doing these rivets. You're going to have issues. On any project where it takes rivets, I have not seen them all go in smoothly. There's always going to be one that fails. So definitely look up on YouTube how to do the rivets, or if you really want to avoid that, get yourself one of these drill bits. Just drill and tap it instead of doing the whole rivet, and then just put these bolts in like I did. It'll hold plenty strong. I mean, you're not sitting on this table, you're just using it for cooking or just extra space when you're out camping or wheeling. So yeah, that's my recommendations. After you get done installing it, make sure you do go and check every single bolt that they are tightened. And just like that, you have a new tailgate table. I will post a link to where I got this table from. I could definitely say after the install, I do recommend this table. If you have any questions, just leave a comment. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.